compounds the isolation. But the text doesn't stop at the abstract concept of the phantom limb.
It goes deeper.
It goes on to deconstruct the specific mechanics of this pain through some of the most intricate wordplay I've seen in modern lyricism.
Oh, right. The line's right after that.
Because you're going to live a part of one, but both going to live a part of you? You got the part with both, but only one will part with you.
Wait, I am completely lost on the grammar of this. I need you to walk me through the math here. Because how do you live a part of someone, but also part with them?
Let's slow it down.
Please do.
It is a brilliantly constructed puzzle. The artist is playing heavily with the dual meaning of the word part.
Okay.
We have part functioning as a noun, meaning a piece, a fraction, or an extension of something.
Right.
And we have part functioning as a verb, the active physical act of separating, leaving, or severing a tie.
Okay, so noun is a piece of something. Verb is leaving. Got it.
So let's look at the first half, which relies entirely on the noun, because you're going to live a part of one, but both going to live a part of you.
Okay.
The narrator will live on as a part, an extension, a legacy of the one deceased father. The father's biological and emotional continuation exists in the child.
That makes sense.
Meanwhile, both the mother and the father will live on as a part of the narrator. You carry their genetics, their memories, the trauma they inflicted, the lessons they taught.
That is the inescapable biological and psychological reality of family.
Exactly. You are a mosaic made of their pieces, whether you want to be or not.
Okay, I track that. You carry a piece of them, you are a piece of them, the noun.
Now, the artist flips the switch and uses part as a verb, the act of separation. You're going to have to part with both, but only one will part with you.
Oh, wow. That is devastating.
The narrator has to part with both of them, meaning the child is forced into a separation from both parents.
They lose the father to the natural, unavoidable reality of mortality.
Death comes for everyone. It's a passive loss on the father's end, and they lose the mother to the fracture of their relationship.
But the true agony, the reason it hurts by two, is in the final clause. But only one will part with you.
Because the father didn't choose to leave.
Precisely. Death took the father against his will. But the living mother made an active, conscious, deliberate choice to walk away. She parted with the narrator.
So what does this all mean for the psychology of the narrator?
It means they aren't just dealing with the void of a missing parent. They're dealing with the psychological weight of active rejection.
Right. The dead father leaves a piece of himself with the narrator out of the inescapable bond of love and biology. The living mother actively abandons the narrator out of choice.
This theoretical math of Greer clearly isn't just some clever thought experiment to make a chorus sound deep. This is a lived reality bleeding onto the page.
It is the rawest form of vulnerability, and understanding that rejection is crucial because it serves as the causal link to exactly how this fracture played out in the narrator's own family dynamics.
Which we see detailed in the first verse.
Exactly. The lyrics outline a very specific sequential narrative of betrayal.
Let's get into the mechanics of that fallout. The narrator says of the mother, she chose to burn the bridge like the ex that she's turning to.
So this wasn't a mutual drifting apart.
No. There is an active, aggressive destruction of the relationship, and it was initiated by the mother, but the psychological trauma is compounded almost immediately by a secondary betrayal.
The brother.
Yes. The lyrics state, "Then my brother jumped and followed like he wasn't just here cheering me."
That detail about the brother is what completely destroys the structural integrity of the family for the narrator.
In psychology, they talk about the importance of the witness in trauma.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, if you go through something horrible, but you have someone sitting next to you who says, "I saw that happen, it was wrong, and you didn't deserve it," you can process the trauma.
You have reality safely grounded by an ally.
Exactly. But the text explicitly says the brother was just there cheering the narrator on. He was the witness. He was the ally.
And then the ally defects.
Yes. For that sibling, to witness the mother burning the bridge, to know the truth of the situation and still choose to jump and follow her.
It's a massive blow.
That doesn't just hurt. It creates a total vacuum of reality. The narrator is left completely and utterly isolated, questioning their own sanity because the only other person who saw the truth decided to side with the person holding the match.
The familial structure collapses entirely. And sitting in the rubble of that collapse forces a very specific psychological reaction.
What does the text say about that?
The lyrics say, "The pride inside might die alive, but in the end, who's burning who?" The narrator is wrestling heavily with their ego. The pride of being the one left behind, the one who refuses to beg for the family to return.
I do want to push back on the narrator's reaction just a little bit here, though,
Okay.
because right after this, they describe their coping mechanism. They say, I learned to refuse excuses like tapping on a period.
Right.
And they ask, tell me what's the problem if it wasn't just me spitting truth. Now, I completely understand the white-hot anger of being betrayed, but refusing excuses like tapping on a period? Think about what that looks like in practice. It makes me think of when you send a text message and you put a hard, grammatically unnecessary period at the end of a one-word answer.
No, period.
Exactly. It is aggressive, absolute finality. It shuts down all oxygen in the room.
It does.
So I have to ask, does this absolute refusal of any excuses suggest the narrator might be uncompromising to a fault?
That's a fair question.
If they are completely shutting down, refusing to entertain any nuance or conversation, just claiming they are spitting truth, is this armor actually keeping them trapped? Are they building a fortress out of their own self-righteousness, or is a boundary that rigid, truly unnecessary shield against further abuse?
You are identifying the central, agonizing tension of any deep familial conflict. Are your boundaries protecting you, or are they imprisoning you?
Right.
If you have ever had to set a hard, non-negotiable boundary with a toxic family member, you know this exact feeling.
The impossible choice.
Exactly. It is the impossible choice between keeping the peace, which usually requires swallowing your own truth, betraying your own reality, and accepting unacceptable behavior, and speaking your truth, which often results in exactly this kind of total isolation.
The narrator is explicitly saying, I spoke the truth, and the consequence was that my entire support system abandoned me.
Yeah.
When the cost of speaking truth is that high, the hard period at the end of the sentence becomes the only defense mechanism you have left.
Yes. But keeping that period at the end of the sentence requires massive amounts of energy.
It's exhausting.
It